Team Canada kicked off the World Junior Championships with a bang, leaving a big footprint on Finland's neck. The Canadians cruised to an 8-1 victory against Finland in the opener at Edmonton's Rexall Place. They get a day of rest today before facing off against the Czechs tomorrow, and hockey fans in Edmonton sure enjoyed the action.
I want to see Team Canada play so much. It's been my dream to see Team Canada play, and I'm a big hockey nut. And I want to see the boys get out there and go, and I want to see us bring home gold.
It was my husband's lifelong dream to come, and so he got to come, and I'm just tagging along.
I grew up watching hockey. I grew up in Saskatchewan, and hockey was the biggest thing going, and we always watched the World Juniors. It's tradition to watch them every Boxing Day and New Year's, so I always wanted to see Team Canada play.
Just family tradition, watching it every year with my dad and my brothers, and I was excited when it came to Edmonton.
Go Team Canada!
All right, I want to check in now with Edmonton Sun sports columnist Terry Jones. Hey, Terry.
Hey, how are you today?
Good to have you with us. So big win for Team Canada, but Terry, pretty big loss in terms of players.
Yes, they lost Smith Pelly, who's the Anaheim Duck loner, if you want to call him, late-minute addition to the team, along with Brett Conley from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Conley said that he believed he had the heart that he'd be back, but you can't come back from a broken bone in a foot. So Devante Smith-Pelly is out for the rest of the tournament, and you can't replace a player unless he's a goaltender. So Canada will have to move up Tanner Pearson from the Barrie Colts from the 13th forward into a regular role on this team.
So Terry, should we be worried about this?
Well, it makes them a little thinner, but when you beat Finland 8-1, and I think most people were surprised, if not shocked, at that result. Canada in a situation where they played Finland that had just got off the plane less than 24 hours earlier in their first pre-tournament game down in Calgary and only won it 3-1. It was an amazing scene in Edmonton, and I think that ended up actually being the story.
What do you think that win and really just game one in general about how our players did play tells us about our chances?
Well, I think this team has got some challenges this year coming back from what happened last year. Remember, they gave up 5 goals in the third period and gassed a 3-0 lead. And then in the pre-tournament game here, less than 48 hours before they opened against the Finns, they lost 5-3 to Sweden. So there's a lot of angst going into this one. But what happened last night was a crowd in Edmonton showed up, and it was weird for Edmontonians to look around the building because it was a sea of red, and that's what we're used to seeing from Calgary Flame home games, but just completely wallpapered with Canadian jerseys with the Edmonton fans, and they created a scene for that Canadian team that allowed them to go forward with all the positives of the tournament from here on, and I think was a huge bit of difference. The atmosphere, remember, Edmonton hasn't had a Stanley Cup playoff game since the spring of 2006, so this crowd, I mean, it was an absolute festival in there, and with Canada getting those two early goals, that's going to take them all the way to the New Year's Eve game against the Americans to let their game grow a bit. And
there is one Albertan on the team, so he must be loving playing in his home province.
Yeah, Mark Pysyk, he's an Edmonton Oil King player. The Oil Kings generally draw 4,000, 4,500 people, and he was just blown away by that scene last night. He said he's never experienced anything like it before, and being the only Albertan in the bench, the Canadian bench, was certainly something that nobody expected, considering the number of Albertans that have been on this team over the years and where it was located. But he was one happy kid last night.
All right, Edmonton Sun sports columnist Terry Jones. Pleasure talking to you, Terry.
See you later, Carrot.